All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. We've got linebacker Joel Dublanko and cornerback Ahmad Gardner. If you guys want to raise your hands to get in the queue, we can get rolling. We'll start off with Chad Brendel from Bearcat Journal.
Joel, I just asked Elijah this, and the response was interesting, so I'll ask you as well. Hopefully no PTSD pops up, but when I say attention training, what does that trigger in your brain?
Attention training was probably one of the toughest things I've ever been through. I mean, the first day you were in like the snow/ice, everybody cut their hands up, and I remember doing push-ups in the snow and like literally blood being in the snow. And then like some people didn't feel like their fingertips for the next few months. And then the next day, we were out on the soccer field, and it was just a huge field. Everybody was throwing up. And then the next day we were out like in the middle of campus, like in the green area, and like rolling around in the mud. It was just the craziest time. And I don't know, you definitely had to evaluate if you still want to do this, you know?
Does this make all of that worth it?
Absolutely.
Take our next question from Charlie Goldsmith from the Cincinnati Enquirer. Go ahead.
Ahmad, how you doing? The stats kind of show that teams aren't throwing the ball your way as much. Do you see that as a sign of respect and a testament to the growth you've made at cornerback?
Yes, sir. I most definitely see that as respect, but, you know, I'm not going to sleep on the side. Like, I don't want them to end up coming my way when I least expect it. So I just got to stay focused, you know, take that as a level, like a high level of respect. My coach talked to me about that all the time. And, yeah, I just got to stay focused.
We'll go next to Justin Williams from The Athletic.
Ahmad, it's been a little bit different for you than guys like, you know, Joel and Kobe and Derek and James, some of those guys you play in the secondary who, you know, you didn't have to go through the attention training. You didn't go through the 4 and 8 seasons. What's it been like from your perspective, basically coming in and having success right away individually, but also, you know, as a team?
It's a blessing to be a part of a winning team where it's a team full of leaders, and even the people that don't play for real, they're leaders. So I'm just blessed that I chose this school, and, you know, it was a great decision. Like, I'm blessed to be where I am around the people that I'm around.
We'll go next to Chad Brendel.
Joel, you waited a long time to get this starting opportunity. What was this offseason like for you, knowing this was going to be your shot and that you were going to have, you know, finally have that chance to make your name for yourself with the ones?
I just think God's put me in an amazing position to be able to be a starting linebacker for a team of this caliber. And I think it's just continue to do what I've been doing, prepare like I'm the starter, even though now I am, just prepare my butt off and do the best I can for the team, you know.
We'll go next to Justin Williams.
Joel, what about just collectively? You know, I'm sure you heard there were just some unknowns about that linebacker unit, losing Perry and B. Wright coming into this season. Seeing how you and Darian and Jarrell have played, how much pride do you take in the fact that kind of what was a question mark to start the year has turned into a strength for the defense?
Yeah, I think that I definitely got a lot of those questions, you know, leading up to the season, but I think just through the work we put in, we knew on the team that was going to be like a question mark. And I think that just made the guys in that room just prepare a little bit more and work a little bit harder to answer those questions and leave no doubt. So
We'll go next to Neil Meyer from Front Office News.
Hey, this question is for Ahmad. So you probably already saw it, Ahmad. According to PFF, your average rating once targeted is 29.3, which is lower than quarterbacks throwing into the ground per all season at 36.3% passer rating. What does that mean to you and your defensive play going into a big game like this with all the talent Georgia has on their offense?
It means a lot. Like nothing's gonna change this week. I'm gonna go out there and do the same thing that I've been doing. You know, I'm a competitive guy. I want to play against the best and everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that means a lot that I get this opportunity to like showcase my talent against the SEC team because everybody thinks quote unquote, yeah, we're not ready because they're SEC and we're in a group of 5. But nah, like I'm gonna go out there and do the same thing that I've been doing.
We'll go next to Chad Brendel.
Ahmad, seeing second team All-American from the Associated Press, what does that mean to you? And how rewarding is it to accomplish that so early in your career?
It means a lot. It shows that like my talent isn't going unnoticed and everything. But like I want to be on first team, and that's what I'm gonna like strive to get on next year. But it means a lot. That was a real true blessing to see that.
Go next to Justin Williams.
Ahmad, you mentioned kind of the chance to prove yourself against a blue blood team in Georgia. How much have you guys talked about that? Just in general, that's kind of been the narrative outside of it, as the difference in recruiting rankings and conferences and all that kind of stuff. Internally, how much are you guys talking about that and maybe wanting to prove what you're able to do on your side of things?
It's not that we want to prove anything. Like we know we have what it takes to prove ourselves to everyone else, but that isn't our main focus. That's something that I individually want to do, prove that we have what it takes, but that's not something that like our corner room or like this team is like pressing to like achieve. Like we know we have what it takes, and that's all that matters.
We're next to Mike Griffin.
Yeah, good morning, Ahmad. Thank you. I wanted to ask you, one of the guys that Georgia has at receiver had a pretty big bowl game last year, George Pickens. I think he had 12 catches, 160 some yards. When you look at a guy like that, it seems like even when he's covered, he catches the ball. Have you gone up against anybody like that? And what do you think about number one on the Georgia football team?
I don't know if I went up against anyone like that, but I think he's a pretty good player. I'm looking forward to competing with him and the rest of the receiver group. So we'll see what happens.
We're next to Justin Williams.
Joel, I got to ask, I know it's been a couple weeks, but can you take us through the fake punt against ECU? It's already become like stuff of lore, talking to some of the other coaches about it. They've all put the onus on you. You're the one that made the call. So I want to hear it from your perspective.
Yeah. So going into the game, if we had a 6-man overload to like our punter's foot, then that was the check. And before the play, I went to Coach Mason and I asked him if it was still live, and he gave me like an unsure yeah, because obviously we were up, and so I go out there and sure enough we get a 6-man overload, and I kind of look to the sideline and give like Coach Vic a thumbs up, and he didn't see me, or I think he saw me, but he just kept going. He didn't know what I was talking about. And so I ended up making the check, and yeah. So.
No regrets, I'm assuming?
No.
Take our next question from Anfernee Patterson.
Hey, this is for both defensive players. You kind of alluded to it. You're playing the SEC team for the most part in SEC environment. My question is, what do you think? What would it mean, first of all, if you're able to hold this Georgia defense down and get the win? And two, what would you say people need to know about the Cincinnati defense that maybe a casual football fan may not know because they're watching like other Power 5 schools instead of like AAC, Sun Belt, different schools of that sort?
The first thing is like we're tougher than I believe that we're tougher than a lot of Power 5 teams all around the country, and we work very hard, and like I feel like it would mean a lot to us, like if we was to beat Georgia, and it would put us like on the map, you know what I'm saying? Like all around the country, all the recruiters and scouts and everything, like they'll know that like we had what it took to beat that team.
Absolutely, I would agree with Ahmad that the style of football that we pride ourselves on is tough and nasty, and so being able to play that brand against a team like Georgia, and I know that the SEC is obviously known for being bigger. I think that being able to play that brand of football, offensive, defensively, and special teams wise, and then win that game would mean a lot for the Power Five and our school just putting us on the map.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go to Chad Brendel.
Joel, you're one of the few guys remaining that was recruited in by the previous staff. Have you guys all like talked about sticking around through that and sticking it out and what it's meant to you guys to be a part of this now, to be champions?
I mean, I haven't talked to it like individually with some guys, but I know like on the team, like we've talked about it. Just especially from like our first season, even so. I mean, the culture was so different with Tuberville, and I think having this new coaching staff obviously was like a great choice. But it was just like a complete 180 turn, and it's been a huge blessing for me. And I'm just extremely thankful for it and blessed to be in this position.
We'll close things out with Justin Williams from The Athletic. Go ahead.
Joel, kind of on that same topic, you know, you've had Coach Freeman as your position coach and defensive coordinator for all 4 years. How have you, we talked to him about how he deals with some of the attention he's gotten and even job interest he's gotten, you know, the past couple of years as the team has had success. How have you seen him kind of grow and change as a coach and position coach and coordinator during your time with him?
Yeah, I'd say from the aspect of, I mean, after 4 years, you get like to know somebody really well. And I think that is the aspect that has grown the most. I mean, he hasn't stopped at all or even pressed in even more to like push the guys in this group and me and or even everybody on the defense. But I'm just thankful that he's stuck it out this long. You know, every year it's like, oh my gosh, is he gonna leave type thing. But yeah, so I think even with the having like different, gosh, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But like there's more back and forth than him just like screaming at you. Well, he doesn't scream, but there's more back and forth, and he's able to piggyback off of you and see what you're thinking in the situation rather than just getting on you for something.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. Just a reminder that Georgia's offensive group starts at 10 a.m. We'll get these recordings sent around, and thanks for joining us.